necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answers to the human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers, and you can transform your life. Right now on WHFS in Tampa and WWNN in South Florida, Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2 hours, listen and call in toll-free, 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and share love and light.
In me and you. Oh, yes, indeed. There is a light. I know there is a light right here on WHFS. You're listening to us in Tampa, and we've been hanging out with all of you in Tampa for just a few short weeks, but we're so grateful to be a part of 1010 AM 92.1 and 103.1. And we're also so happy to still be a part of WWNN 1470 AM 95.3 FM and 96.9. I was looking at the calendar. I don't even know if my producer remembers this. It's 4 years, August, that we left another station. And we shuffled over here. We were actually already broadcasting on the other station and here on WNN, and we were so excited to be a part of that. And we had two stations, and all of a sudden there came this conversation. I just love conversations, don't you? And they're like, Sarah Spiritual, we're going to make this a sports channel. I'm like, really? So how do I fit in? And they said, you're out. I was like, really? But we got a deal for you, Sarah Spiritual. I was like, really? What's my deal? You're going to be on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. I'm like, I am not even awake at 8 a.m. Who are you? What do you think I'm going to be channeling? It's not going to be Jesus for sure. So it was this crazy experience. And I remember the contracts were getting renewed, and then they were like, oh, we're going to do like an extension or something. So I was like, why are we doing an extension? You know, in my head, I had this ruh-roh kind of feeling. And I had been a part of that station, whom shall remain nameless, the sports station. And I was there since 2009. And so I'm thinking to myself, wow, you know, you're out. Like, you couldn't even like carve a little space for the Angels, because Lord knows some of these teams with their Hail Marys and their Angels, they need a lot. Okay, so they could have used me praying. I mean, mind you, last year we didn't have much sports activities, so it's okay. It's kind of weird and wonky, but come on, guys. Like, take a girl to the game. Like, let me play. So it wasn't happening. But what that brought up in me, so by the way, and then happy 4 years of us chilling together. 4 years together in April, 4 years I've officially only been here with you all and part of the Beasley family. So thank you to the Beasley family. We just love being a part of you all. But I have to say that it brought to my mind legacy, connection, communication, and the meaning of, you know, why I do what I do. And, you know, we have callers. They call in on this line at 888-565-1470. We've been giving out that number for 4 years. People call in. There's some of you who have been listening to the show since 2009, and I greatly appreciate you. But we do the show so that we can be of service to the community. Let's not forget that. So the energy here is that we are here to navigate life together, and we are here to share experiences and problem solve, get guidance from Spirit. We are here to open up heart space for everyone, and we are here to be of assistance. And when I look back at the reason why I opened up my center in West Palm Beach, the Ex-Video Enlightenment Center, I looked at it as this opportunity to create something that would be community, be sacred space, something that would give products and services that would assist people on their spiritual journey. A multicultural experience. We're there to cater to everyone from all walks of life. So we have products to support your spiritual expansion. And we teach classes, and we have healing. And when I look back at growing up, as many of you will, you know, we kind of look at what we wanted to be. You know, last week we were talking about our authenticity and how to be your true self. The week before, we were really talking about, you know, the reason that we're here on earth and our meaning of life and our purpose and what is our mission, our soul mission. And as we talk about these things, you have to remember that the day will come that you have a legacy, what's left of you, the memory of you. And the memory of the work I do is for me to have known that I made a difference in not just a few people's lives, but as many people's lives as humanly possible. And last night when we were teaching class, we were talking about connecting to the angels and the guides. And I had my students in class, and as we were on this class, we were kind of connecting to the reason that I connect and how I connect, and the reason that we have to be of connection of God first, and that's the lead energy that we have to work with. Otherwise, how do you really know the guidance is in alignment with your divine purpose and path? And we really kind of connect all the dots for the students in class. And we came to the conclusion that after we looked at all the trade shows that I have done and all the individual readings that I have done in the past 15 years, we're all over 500,000, if not more, people that I have talked to across the globe. And I say that because the imprint, the desire that I have, is to give each one of you a tool, a whisper, an inspiration, you can do it, or a safe place to cry or mourn the loss of your husband or your grandmother or even unfortunately your child. And we can, as community, as a tribe, hold a space of healing and love for that individual, and then kind of give you the power that if life presents you with something that is dissatisfactory, or life presents you with something that's problematic, that you have the tools that we have awakened within you. You have the tools that have created a sacred space in you to utilize moving forward. And that you too, one day, you can pay it forward. So many of you have gone on to have your own businesses. There's some people I'm so proud of. They were in terrible work environments. They were dissatisfied. And they're like, literally, take this job and they leave the job and they throw caution to the wind and they open their businesses. There are other people who have, because of what they've seen in life and what they've experienced, and they know that people have been of service to them, we have helped them plan and grow some type of outreach program or some kind of coaching program or something that is going to serve other people. So when we ask you, what is your legacy? The question that I say to you all is, what is it that you want to be remembered for? What is the imprint that you want the world to reflect on when they think of you? And the world meaning your inner circle, those who will know of you. Not all of us have been on a world stage. We guess we could save some of that for the politicians, but some of them better get off the stage because it's not pretty. And when you look at the energy of who you are, what do you want your children to remember you for? Do you want them to know that you were an upstanding person, a good-hearted person, that you worked hard for them, that you were there for them, that you taught them? I know there can be gray areas sometimes, but right from wrong. What did you show them in life? And that you were there for them at the end of the day. What is your legacy? I'd like everyone to give some thought and consideration to what would you like your legacy to be. I remember when my dad had passed. At his wake, I was there and I was pregnant at the time. My dad had passed and I was there and I saw in the back row, there were 4 nuns in the back. And I had gone to Catholic school in Westchester, New York, and I see these nuns and I'm like, wait a minute, there's Sister Sophie, there's Sister Pauline, there's Sister Mary, there's Sister Francis. I'm like, what are they all doing here? And so I went up to them and I thanked them for coming and I talked to them. And they said to me, we wanted to come honor your father. Now, my father had done some things to help when I was in school, but then I learned, because of these wonderful nuns who came to the wake, something about my father that is a part of the legacy of his energy and who he was. I will know something about him because they shared that with me, but it wouldn't have been part of the legacy of how I knew my dad, because I had no idea that he was going back to that high school for years. This is like 10 years after graduation. He was going back to that high school every year, bringing them food at Christmas, food at Easter, extra things that maybe people had donated or that he didn't need. He was bringing it to them. he was always checking on them at the convent. I had no idea. So that's the legacy that my father left with them. I also know that there's something called humility. And humility is this great gift to accomplish things, but to not have to talk about them. To not say, oh, I did this, and oh, look at my accolades, and look at what I've accomplished in my life. I mean, we should always be proud of ourselves, and we should always commend ourselves at working at something and achieving it. I'm not saying we can't celebrate our achievements. But there are things that we will accomplish in life that 20 years from now, we don't need to still be talking about it. That was then, and this is now. And humility is about doing things behind closed doors that people will never know. You don't boast. You're not a boastful spirit. You just do them, and you do it for the greater good, or you do it for the person, do it for the experience. Well, getting back to my dad, it wasn't until after my father died that I learned that I believe it was 1936, I would have to check the date, but I have this little article, and he never told me, never ever told me, never said, I've got a story for you, little girl. Well, actually, it would go like this. I've got a story for you. I'll be like, what, Dad? Well, sit down, let me tell you. Okay, my father was a very strong, energetic Greek man, and he's like, don't give me no back talk, listen. So I was like, listen, all right. But he didn't sit me down and tell me, let me tell you what I've done in my life. He never said those things. I found a piece of paper that talked about how in 1936 in the Olympics he had carried the torch in Athens, Greece. Never in a million years did he sit down in a story of how wonderful he was and tell me that. He didn't share that. It was just a part of his history. It was a part of who he was. It was a moment in time. But he never needed to do things to make himself look bigger and better. He just showed up and he worked. And I say to you that the greatest legacy you can leave people, first and foremost, is to be humble, to have compassion for other people, and to be grateful for what people do for you, and not try to take advantage. You see, when people do from the heart, it's important that you accept that and don't push the limits. Gifts are gifts. Nobody owes you anything. We've come in the society of, we've had so many things happen over our lives that sometimes we feel like, well, I've had injustices, so the universe owes me this, the world owes me this. You don't know your contributory factors to that injustice. You don't know your soul contract. You do not understand maybe another part of the story that is removed from you. And there are some injustices that we cannot explain, right? We've seen them, we've heard them, and we go, oh, what a horrific thing for someone to go through. And those things we'll never make sense of. Senseless killing, how do you make sense of that? Was someone supposed to say the soul contract? Well, show me the paper, because you can't wrap your head around something like that. But there are some things in life that we carry as a chip on our shoulder, an injustice. Someone stole property from someone. There's a family squabble about an inheritance. There's stealing, something someone has taken from you. Or maybe someone has spoken ill of you and cast a cloudy light on you. Well, when you think of that, you have to say there's more to these stories. But you have to let it go. We can't carry it with us to tomorrow. Because then we'll always have this weight, and that weight will become an attraction of us drawing forth to us a similar experience of someone doing the same exact thing. Because we're carrying that weight. Creating your legacy is about your authenticity, your humility, your kindness, your compassion, your ability to do and give to others without needing to brag about it. Being kind and knowing that the reward is in just the doing of it. And whatever the heavenly reward will be, I guess we'll find out when we get there. But each one of you is going to leave a legacy for your children, for your grandchildren, whether you have a role that is deemed important in society or you're someone who's the role model for your family. That part doesn't matter. And then look at the people who are in a moment in society that they are a role model and a leader. And look what their legacy might be right now. I think we've got a few people on the hot seat. And when you see that, you then realize this. They're human too. And nobody's infallible. None of us are perfect. And as humans, another mistake we've made is put people on pedestal. They're human. They put their shoes on one foot at a time, just like you. Well, the legacy I'm asking you to leave is not always measured by the greatness and notoriety in the world. It's how people remember you, the human being, your heart, your soul. I'll never forget the gift the nuns gave me at my dad's wake when they told me the story of something I didn't know. And he never said, I still go back to the high school and I take care of those nuns. He never felt the need to tell me that. He just, behind closed doors, in his own time, did something from the heart. And in today's world, with so much going on, and division, and animosity, and judgment, live your legacy, and do it from your heart. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then we're welcoming phone calls, 888-565-1470. We're opening the phone lines. We want to hear from you, Tampa. If you're driving in your car, then pop on the phone. Share with us and ask your question. And South Florida, we're here for you. We'd love to hear from you. And let's navigate this together, you and I. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, right here on WHFS and WWNN. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your soul? Because you know that you know me. Every soul has its story.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages on WHFS. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful hour of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And do you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WHFS and on WWNN. We're broadcasting to you all in Tampa, in South Florida, and we're getting spiritual right here. And we're talking about your legacy. What would you like your legacy to be? We're going to go to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. And we're also going to be talking to you on Facebook and YouTube. So if you got a question on Facebook, pop it on Facebook and pop it on YouTube. We'll be going to our Facebook friends and our YouTube friends in just a minute. So 888-565-1470. I've got to go to the phone lines, and we got to go to Orlando. I've got Crystal on the line. Crystal, how are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing great, Crystal. And what is your question for us tonight?
Well, my question is, the past few months I've been going through a lot in life, and I just wanted to know if there's any messages for me, my relationship, my
career. We've got a lot going on here. So first thing to talk to me about, first of all, is this year is about money. Show me the money universe. It is about movement, upward, increase. This is what I'm being led to show you, because there's some uptake of your money coming. So are you expecting money coming to you? You are looking for a new position, please?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I see new promotion, advancement. This is how I see this coming. And when I give a timeline for you, it kind of feels like, I have to go by how energy feels to me. And the energy feels like it's going to take us over the next few months to kind of secure something. And 2022 will be a nice lucrative time for you. Also, 2022 brings open for you a different and deeper meaning of life. They talk to me about the connection of family and love and everything kind of coming together. They tell me that love has been a bit of a struggle for you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And it's an in again, out again, up, down, all around kind of thing. It's just not clicking the way you want, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And they also tell me that your heart is heavy. You feel I've tried, but no matter how I try, my trying doesn't seem to be good enough. And it's a step forward and then 3 steps back in this kind of disjointed is the word they give me, relationship. So there's relationship that's kind of been set aside again, please. Is that what they're telling me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have a dance away lover. He dances in. He does the cha-cha.
Yes.
He dances out. He disappears. But yet, you're sitting in your room going, love will lead you back. Someday I just know that love will lead you back to my arms. That's kind of how you feel. And you're still sitting in the corner going, Lord, where is he?
Mm-hmm.
But the difficulty is that he has a clouded version of this relationship, and he cannot let go of past hurts. I don't know his birthday, but I'm going to tell you that he's wounded to the core. He's got a little wound. He's wounded to the core. It's like he's a little boy who's wounded to the core, and he can't let it go.
Yes.
And he doesn't want, this is how they say it, he doesn't want you to tell him what to do, but his mother can tell him what to do all the time. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, if I were to quote the song from Frozen, let it go, you've got to just let this go for now. I feel this dance back and forth is not healthy for you. It has worn on your self-esteem. It is clouding your work. This is clearly a year for you to exercise great leaps in abundance, but this has you like a prisoner. This has you frozen, and you need to do some healing on this.
Yes.
And I will tell you this. My guides tell me, my angels tell me, my master teachers tell me, the Holy Spirit tells me, it's not all your fault. So the beating up that you're doing, thinking you should have, would have, could have been different, and if only, it's not your fault, sweetheart. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Be open for new love. Next year, remember I said this union of family and love. I just feel like a whole fresh start next year. So get the finances in order this year, and thank you for following the show. Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Welcome. Bye. 888-565-1470. We got calls all across the nation here. But before we go popping back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470, I've got to go to Facebook. Let's see who we've got on our Facebook page. We've got Heather Still. Hey, Heather Still, good to see you. Sarah, I have a question about my ex and what is going to be in store for us. Are we getting back together? And she gives me the birthday there. Well, Heather, let me tell you, and I do believe that you and I are supposed to have a session, but I don't know. There's something about the name that makes me think that you have. You can give me a response back in the feed, but I think you and I are scheduled for a session, Heather, still. And the first thing that I will tell you is this, that last year was a kind of a difficult year for you. You were going through your own personal metamorphosis, and this year your boyfriend is stepping into his own personal power. And I feel as if getting back together, it's not the time for him yet. I feel him removed. I feel him disconnected. I feel like this union of the two of you needs to take about 2 months before we make this firm decision so we don't get caught back up and get officially back together, because there's some things we have to iron out from the past. I feel like there's still some unresolved emotions. I feel like there's some patterns that have to be reprogrammed in this relationship before we can take that lunge back into the relationship. So Heather, still, you can get back together, but time is on your side at this moment, because we need to do some work around this, and we need to have a better understanding, because we don't want to jump back into boiling water. We really want to, get out of the kitchen if it's too hot. So thanks, Heather Still. I look forward to connecting with you. I do believe you requested a personal session with me. So thank you so much for following the show. Who else do we have on Facebook and YouTube? Before we go back to the phone lines, we've got Sue Foster. Sue Foster says, can I ask, who was the man who appeared next to my bed and why? And what did he do to me? Well, that's a pretty interesting question. I can get a read as to who it may be, and we will take an energy there for you. So the first thing that I see here for you, Sue, is that this was not a relative. I don't feel like this was a relative. I feel like this was a higher being, an ascended being, master teacher energy, Sue. And the energy that I feel like is there was a frequency upgrade, a healing that was done. And I feel as if for a moment you kind of were frozen, and then the energy just lifted. So, Sue, I feel it was a higher being. I don't feel like it was a negative being that appeared to you. And I feel like it was for your spiritual healing and up-leveling and even some physical healing. Thank you, Sue, for a very interesting question. And keep me posted on who pops in your room next, because one never knows. Thanks so much, Sue Foster, for your question. And we're going to go back to the phone lines. And from Naples, let's see who's calling us from Naples. Angie, how are you?
Good, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing great, Angie. Good to connect with you. And what is your question for me?
I want to know if there's any of my loved ones around me from the other side.
Okay, let's take a look there and see who we might have. And I also see for you, my dear, we're going to just open up the conversation and allow them to come forward. And as we do that, the first thing that I'm made aware of is this is a year for you of balance and getting things in order for yourself. They tell me that we want to balance personal and work-life financial balance. Does that make sense to you? Yes, please?
Yes, it does.
And deepening spirituality is another thing. As I go up into the energy, I have to go into, oh goodness, I got to go onto the male side of the family, someone who stands father, grandfather. Father passed, please?
Yep, my father.
Yep, I have your father here. Steps up first here. So when you ask, I want to know if I have a message from loved one, that's who steps forward here is the father energy here. Very interesting personality. Your dad was not like everybody else. He seems to be, I don't want to call him a jack of all trades, but he just seems to have a very diverse personality. Does that make sense to you, please, your dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And I also see around here, his mom has also passed, yes? His mother, because there's a woman who stands above him, please. This is your grandmother on Dad's side. She stands there with him. So Dad's side of the family is coming in really strong for me right now.
Oh, wow.
Who is that? Okay. So they also make me aware that there's a woman connected to you on Mom's side of the family, but she stands in grandmother's position, but she moves over a bit. So it makes me feel as if she's in the, like an aunt or something, grandmother's sister or mom's sister. We have an aunt who passed or a great aunt that passed. There's a woman who steps forward. Okay, so she steps forward for me as well. So she brings to me, she seems like she was kind of fun. There was something about her that didn't make me think of her as like everybody else either. So she's got this really fun kind of vibe. She makes me feel like she died on the younger side. Does this also make sense to you, please?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yep.
So she makes me feel like she wasn't here for as long as she had wanted, but she's glad she lived to live the life that she did. But I also see the length at the end. Something seemed very drawn out for her. Does that also make sense to you? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. You talk to Dad. Dad is around you. But I feel like there's a conversation that you wish you had with Dad before he passed. Not bedside conversation. There's something else you wish you could have said to him and communicated with him. And we didn't quite get to iron it out or have that tete-a-tete, so to speak. Does that make sense to you, my dear?
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing to talk about. Dad is very much aware of everything, and he's sending you much love. So whatever you feel like you needed to have closure with, you've talked to him about it since he's crossed over, correct?
Yes.
Okay. He's heard you. You guys are on the same page now. I just need you to know that he has heard you. And whatever words were unspoken in the physical, he has communicated to me that he has received your intentions and your expressions, and he is at peace with you, and you are with him. Does this make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your other question for me, please? You have quite the gang there. I mean, we could spend 3 hours together talking to them.
Yeah,
That's how many people you have out there.
Well, we went and did a memorial for my dad
Okay.
last week, and I kind of met somebody unexpected, and his dad passed away the same time my dad did, and I'm just wondering if there's anything that's going to come out of that.
Do you have a birthday for me on that person by any chance?
His birthday is, oh my gosh, he told me, September 4th,
Okay.
I think 1973.
Okay. There's something kind of subtle about this gentleman, please. Yes, he's a little, I would call him like a little laid back, straightforward, well-mannered, but there's also a laid back kind of analytical kind of energy with him. Does this make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
What is this? Okay. It is it's a conversation to be had with him. Will it go somewhere? The two of you they give me the words vastly different in how you process and see things. Well, you have some commonalities, but your perspective on life is different. He may be a little bit too boring for you, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, he might be a little too boring for you. I don't know. There's something just kind of, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I think after the initial few dates, you'll decide if he's boring. And then you'll decide if you can put up with boring. But nice person, nice connection, a good conversation, highly intelligent being. So this will be an engaging conversation. I just don't know if he's going to connect with you on all the levels, including some of the spiritual levels that you are open and exploring. So just look for that, and know that Dad is very much around you. He steps forward first, and whatever you've communicated to him in the spirit realm, he has received, and you two are all good. All right, my dear?
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you. And you've called the show before, yes?
Yes, I have.
All right. Thank you so much for following the show. Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then when we come back, we're going to go back to the phone lines. We've got to go to California. We got to go to Miami. We've got to go to Kissimmee. We've got to go all across the nation. We are answering your calls at 888-565-1470. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that's me, Sarah Spiritual. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we're back here live on WHFS and WWNN. We're answering your questions all about life and what life may throw your way. And how do we navigate it? And, well, what is the meaning of our life? And what could our legacy be? That's what we're talking about tonight. And we are answering questions about anything having to do with your journey at 888-565-1470. And I'm going to go to California. I've got Anae on the line. I think I'm saying that correctly. Anae, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. And what is your question for us tonight?
Well, my fiance passed over, and I would like to see if he has any, messages or, unspoken conversation that, we never had the time to talk about.
All right, we're going to open up the energy and we're going to see what comes through for us. We're going to see, you and I are going to just begin our conversation that'll allow the energy to connect, and that will allow him or whomever will step forward. I can never guarantee who we're going to make a connection with. But the first thing that they make me aware of for you, my dear, is that right now this energy is being about closing doors and beginning a new life and new beginnings. We're closing out a cycle. And when I look at the energy, they tell me that 2019, 2020, and 2021 have been a difficult time for you. Does that make sense to you, please? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And they also talk to me about, literally, you're reinventing yourself right now. Is that also true?
Yes.
Okay. They're telling me that you're not sleeping well at night.
No, I haven't.
The passing of your fiancé, this energy makes me feel as if when he passed, it was something unexpected that occurred. This is true, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Because it makes me feel like he was here and then he was gone. He also makes me feel as if he came to you in an attempt to say goodbye because he didn't get to say goodbye to you. This makes sense to you, please?
Yes.
Okay. And he says he came to you in the dream. You remember dreaming about him, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And he also tells me that he sits at the bed, and it's kind of interesting. As I face the bed, there's something about the left side of the bed. Do you have a spot for him on the bed, please?
Yeah, I usually leave it open for him.
Okay. So you leave a little spot for him on the bed, please?
Yes.
So that spot you leave is the spot where his energy gathers to send you energy of love and hugs. This is what he gives me from the heart he gives to you. He also makes me feel like he was a great guy in his opinion, but he wasn't the easiest of guys. This makes sense to you, yes?
Yes.
Okay. He puts a question mark.
I'm sorry.
The question mark is, there's still some things that you're still trying to understand about his passing. This also makes sense to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I question a lot about it.
Question a lot about it. Circumstances, everything, yes? So
Yes.
he holds the question, and he tells me to tell you, I don't know you, I'm just telling you what he says. He says, it's not to question. It is not to question. You have to live your life. You have to move on now. Yes. And he will always be connected with you. I feel as if there's... interesting. I have to change gears for a minute, please, because he's there, but there's also a woman connected in mom's side of the family, and she makes me feel as if she's in the position of your grandmother. Your grandmother passed, please? Mother's mother?
My mom's grandma.
Your mom's, so your great-grandma. So she was very influential. She has a grandmother energy, very influential in the family. Yes, please?
Yes.
Okay. And the energy I have here is that she was kind of strong, and she would always be the person to get answers or want truth or live with integrity, that there were rules, that you had to do the right thing. This makes sense to you from the memories you have of great-grandma and grandma and how you were raised, please?
Yes.
And you come from a very strong lineage of females, yes?
Oh, yes.
And you come to this energy of you need answers, and that's why you can't let this go, yes? What is your
Correct.
question for me? I feel like, before I say that to you, I feel like there's a friend or somebody connected to your fiance who you feel has an answer for you. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Okay. There's someone that you think may have some more information, or you want to ask, and you're feeling like you're not getting something from someone who's connected to him, like somebody's not sharing everything with you, please? Yes? This is how they present
maybe,
it to you.
yeah.
Yes. And what does the month of May have to do with the two of you or with him, please?
On May, I mean, we did lost the baby in March, not May.
Okay.
And so May, no, I don't have anything in mind.
Okay. Well, remember I said that month of May, we may not have that answer right now, but when they give me something, I always hold on to it. It seems to have some significance, even though you and I can't place it right now. But know that he is at peace. Know that he is with you. I know there's a song that says, I promise there will always be a little spot inside of me, a tiny spot deep in my heart that stays in love with you. And there'll always be a spot for you with him. And he will always be connected to you. And who's the boy he's talking about, please? He's talking to me about a boy, Ane.
My son?
Yes. Is he the father of the son? Because he's talking about, and take care of the boy.
No, he's, I had a son in a different relationship.
Okay. But he was like a father to him when he knew him, yes?
Yes.
Okay. He says,
they
and
were close to each
I was just getting ready to say goodbye to your fiancé, and he says, take care of the boy.
Okay.
So take care of your son.
Yeah.
All right. Ane, how did you hear about the show?
I've been following you on Facebook for, I believe, 2 years or
Thank
3.
you so much. Thank you for following us. And thank you for following the show. We greatly appreciate it. And our condolences on this great, great loss. Know that he will always be with you and that your love will never die. Thank you so much, Annie. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye. It's always such a difficult thing to lose someone who's near and dear to our heart unexpectedly, that we think we have our future all planned. And then, of course, the plan goes sideways and we have no control over what happens. So our condolences to Ane in California. And we know many of you listening have gone through that very same experience. We can't quite have our loved ones here, but do know that they're always connected. Well, we're getting ready to pop off of Tampa and just stay on our WWNN in South Florida. So if you're in Tampa and you're listening and you say, hey, I want to be a part of this conversation, pop over to Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, on YouTube. You can always follow me on Instagram. Go to iHeartRadio, punch in WWNN, and you'll catch the rest of the show from 7 to 8. Thank you, WHFS, for listening, tuning in. My friends in Tampa who are on the road on your way home. And, of course, much love to all my friends here in South Florida. We're not going anywhere. We've got a whole nother hour of your questions and Spirit's answers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There's a light that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers.
The stillness in my mind, I will see the world differently, the world differently. Everyone is here for a reason. Everyone is here to shine their love. If I could see the world differently now, I'd be seeing me as one with you. If I can see the love within me now, I will see the love in you. We all come to shine our light now. We all come to be all we can be, just you and me. If I could see love in everything now, I would see the world differently now. So I will take my vision in my mind now, and I'll see love, and I'll see love, and I'll see I'll see love. The other day,
Your spirit guides and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions and to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can share the love and light.
Yes, indeed. There's a light right here on WWNN 1470 AM 96.9 and 105.3. We are so excited to connect with all of you all across the nation, and we are really, truly connecting so that each one of you has an opportunity to ask your question on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you can't get through, just keep trying. And if it's not today, it'll be another day. We are here for as many different people as possible. So we are going to go to the phone lines, and then we're going to get back to our Facebook question. We just had a shout out from someone who was just at the center. Thank you for visiting the center, and I know they have a question as well. We're going to take as many questions on our Facebook feed and our YouTube feed, so keep them coming. But for this moment, I've got to go to Fernando. Fernando in Kissimmee. Fernando, how are you tonight?
Yes. Hello?
Hello, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How'd you hear about the show, Fernando?
My sister has called you guys and spoke to you guys before.
Wonderful. You guys would mean me and all my people, my spirit guides, my angels, all them people? Yes.
Yeah, all your people. I think they've been to your shop a couple times too.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much. So, Fernando, how can I best assist you tonight?
I wanted to ask about like some relationship advice or see what you had to say about that.
Absolutely. So let me tell you about this year, what this year represents for you. This year represents for you, are you ready? Healthy boundaries. Know what you want, know what you don't want. Also represents a year of love, commitment, connection. It also represents a time for you to be true to yourself, which means you must, Fernando, love yourself first. Sometimes you put other people before yourself and you see the big picture, but it doesn't always play out in your favor. Is that true?
Something.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay. What's your question for me?
I was more to see something on my love life, what direction it was going, or anything to say about that.
Well, that's really what I'm talking about. We need healthy boundaries. Is there a particular person you want to ask me about, please? What is their birthday?
No, I don't have a specific person to ask about.
Okay. This year is your year of love. So what do I mean by that? This is a year that you set the intention of what you want. This is a year that attracts love. primary partnership, connection, someone who's a partner for you. And it really gets ramped up and going in the month of November, kind of right before your birthday. When I talk energy, I talk of a window, a period of time. You know, it's not like we have to be somewhere on November 15th for it to happen. And if we miss it, oops, we don't get it. This is your year of relationship. This is your year of commitment. This is your year of attracting love. This is your year of true love. Someone who desires you and you desire them. If I go back in time, though, Fernando, and I go to the energy of 2019, was there a breakup or a difficulty in a relationship, please? A shift, please, at that time?
No.
Where did you move then? Because I feel like a shift, a break around that time for you.
No, I mean, I was in a relationship during that time for like 7 years.
Okay. When did the relationship end?
It was just like maybe 2-3 months ago.
Okay. Well, according to my spirit guides, you were in a relationship for 7 years, but that would have been a time to break, shift, or end. So I don't know if you were considering leaving or you were going through a difficult time. Only you'll be able to kind of review that. But 2019 was a change time for you, and it just all kind of happened just recently for you. That's fine. We also see here that love comes, so you have to trust new beginnings will come for you, and you have to set healthy boundaries so you attract someone who's going to show up for you and return your affection and be true to you as you are true to them. This is your year of love, Fernando. So if you're asking if love's coming, it's coming, honey. Just hang on.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks so much. Bye for now.
Bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to go to Facebook. We're going to go to YouTube. We're going to answer questions right here on WWNN. We got a YouTube question, and we have Terry. She says, hey, Sarah, do you have a message for me, anything that might help me right now? I would be very grateful. So, Terry, the first thing that I see here for you is evolution, transformation, growth. This is your self-expression. This is your connection, Terry, for your spiritual growth. This is something that they say is your authenticity. You have to open up to be true to yourself. And when I look at this energy, they make me very much aware, Terry, that in this time, you are truly meant to have a career shift, a financial shift. This is a time of financial growth and spiritual growth. So be open to these new beginnings because they're coming for you. And this year is going to help you right now to focus on being true to yourself. What's your truth? Spiritually, what are you being guided to do? And look for new financial avenues. This will make things so much more easy for you in the future. Thanks so much, Terry, for your YouTube question. Who else do we have here on YouTube? We got Montana Lee Parsons, and she's on Facebook. Can you help me understand a dream I had with my father a few nights ago? And so the first thing that I see here for you is that your father came to you first for you to know that he is okay, and he wants you to know that he is connecting to you. I also feel as if your father is also talking about, and this is a message that I get from Spirit, that your father's talking to you about connections with people on the other side as well in family that are gathering around you. And there's something about connecting, Montana, to a female energy in the family who's connected to you. So it feels like mother, grandmother type energy who has something going on in the health, and we have to take a look. So Father's there so you know that he's okay, but he also wants you to look into a female connected to the family, mother, grandmother energy. That's where I place it. Someone who's living, who's navigating some difficulty in their health. We want to take a look at that. So thank you so much, Montana Lee. Your father is very much at peace, and he will visit you again. Thanks for that question. We'll take another question from Facebook and YouTube before we go back to the phone lines. And we've got here another one. No, it didn't go forward. Thank you. Amy Bradley. What is the next spiritual step in my spiritual journey? Thank you. So Amy Bradley, I see a lot of nature spirits, a lot of energy. I don't know if you've been dabbling in photography or arts, things that are very creative, but the next step for you is to really work on your connection with your mediumship energy, your spiritual interpretation, your energy of psychic awareness. These are the directions that is your next step to really perfect the psychic awareness for yourself so that you can move yourself into a much more strong relationship with spirit. So thank you so much, Amy, for your question. We're going to go back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. I got to go to Lisa. Lisa is in Fort Pierce. Lisa, how are you tonight? Hi, Lisa. Miss Lisa, are you there? Lisa in Fort Pierce. Okay, we're going to pause that line and see if maybe we can get Lisa. Maybe there's something wrong with the connection. And we're going to go to Miami. I've got Marie in Miami. Marie, how are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing great, Marie. And how can I be of assistance to you tonight?
I just want to know when will I get a breakthrough, because I've been going through a lot lately, and I'm to the point where I'm just tired of everything that I'm going through.
Okay, but part of the break comes we have to kind of break up. Is that true?
Thinking about it, yes.
Well, okay, so we keep going in a circle, but we got to get something to change, Marie. So sometimes you have to do something to facilitate change so that change can happen for you, okay? But, you know, I see very much that this is a really intense relationship between you and your partner. I see we have a lot of history together, yes. I feel like we keep coming to an agreement of how it's going to be, and then it's not that way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So you're kind of like, all right, well, how's it going to be then? Because you said you're going to do it this way, and now I don't know where you are and what you're up to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. New work, new job, new opportunities. That's your focus right now. Step back from the relationship. Let the relationship take its own course and see where it goes from there. You know what you want. You know what you deserve. You know what your family deserves. And you know your part in it. So you have to make the changes within yourself. So find ways to make yourself happier so that things can recalibrate for you.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Okay. Do you see him finding a job anytime soon? Because I think they're kind of play a role with his attitude and the way he's been acting lately.
Yeah. I will say this. As a couple, the two of you have been through heck and back, yes?
Yes.
Has not been easy. That's why I'm saying focus on building your career, your finances, get things in a better segment of flow for you. What is his birthday, please?
12/13/83.
Okay. Was he at a job and then it for a short time and then it stopped and now he's out of work again? Is that what I'm seeing?
He was at his job for about, I could say, 2 years, and then he lost it during the pandemic. They let him go.
Right.
And he's been out of work ever since and been getting unemployment, but of course that,
Yeah, it's not the answer.
the employment stopped, and it's like he's just not himself lately.
Yeah, I felt like there was
we're
something.
arguing like all the time now. He gets upset with every little thing I say.
Well, I felt like there was something he was doing on the side or something else he had going for a little while that just didn't click here a few months ago. So something's coming for him. He is going to find work. When I look at the energy, October seems to bring, I know it's still a ways off, but October seems to bring work for him.
Oh, wow. That's a while.
I know
Not
it is.
really, but...
As fast as time is going, no. But when every week the bills come and every month you have the same bills again, it's a while, and I get it. But this is why you want to focus on your career, your advancement, your growth, Marie, because you have to kind of hold things up for right now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You can do it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I know.
All right. Bye
Thank
for now.
you.
Bye. 888-565-1470. Let's give a try. Let's see. Can we get Lisa from Fort Pierce? Is she on the line? I don't want to.
Yes, I'm here.
Yay, you're here. Great. Hello.
Yeah, I lost you. I'm sorry. My phone disconnected, but I got back. I was so lucky to get back to you.
I know. Could you imagine? You call, and then you're on hold, and then just when you're ready to talk to me,
I know it was terrible, but I got you.
You got me. Lisa, let me start first, if I may, please, because I was all set to talk about clearing old energies. I was all set to talk to you about kind of making some changes. This is a year that's important that you make the changes that are good for you, that facilitate peace and harmony and healing. I feel like, when I kind of hold my head, I go, it hasn't been an easy ride. It hasn't been an easy few years for you. Does this make sense? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And they make me feel as if you're ready for a new beginning. You're ready for a fresh start. And I'm like, hang on, baby, because after your birthday in 2022, things really start to open up. And I feel like new beginnings, fresh starts with people, with life, even with finances, because they seem a little flat out right now. Is that true as well?
Oh, that's true. That's so true.
Yes.
And what you're saying is right on the money.
So, Lisa, what is your question?
Well, I was wondering if there's any messages from my father, who has passed since I was 25 and I'm 60 now, and I've never got anything from his spirit or anything. And it was a murder. It was an unexpected death, and I've never got any information from the other side or anything like that. And I was just wondering, is he okay?
Well, if he's in heaven, which is where he goes, I see him there. But I'm going to make a connection here and see who steps forward. Elisa, so just bear with me, please. And Lisa, you have, what's the number 3 have to do with your family, please?
That's my birthday, January 3rd.
Okay, but what else does it have to do with your family? Does it have to do with siblings, or someone's holding me up the number 3? So who's the number 3 in the family?
I have 3, 2 sisters and a brother that are full-blooded siblings.
Okay.
And then I have 2 half-siblings.
Okay, well, they're counting the 3 siblings, no offense to the halves. Okay, so someone's talking to me about 3 siblings. Your father is the father of those 3 siblings, please, those blood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I have a man who's telling me he's got the number 3 connected to him, and that you have 3 siblings here. So this is your father coming through. Your father's energy, interesting. Your father's energy makes me feel as if this, I have to use your word, murder, that there's something not resolved on the murder, on the behind the scenes of the story. Lisa, does that make sense to you, please?
That makes perfect sense. It still is unresolved.
Mystery, yes. And so he makes me feel like we will never know the truth to this story. But he also makes me feel like it was not random. It was someone who knew him or knew of him. There was a connection to him and what happened. Okay. So, and whoever that suspect is, even though they may not be able to prove it, this is what he makes me aware of. So maybe, and I got to tell you this, sometimes they don't come through because they need the right person to interpret their message, and it has to form a connection. And I hold this energy here, so I'm going to work with him. And so that you know that even though you didn't get to be with him when he passed, he makes me feel as if, okay, I have to go back. So we have to go back to a week before he passed. So it makes me feel like, was there a family gathering or something? He makes me feel like everybody was together. And then about a week later, he passed. What month did he pass in, please?
You know, it's terrible, but I can't recall what month it was.
Okay.
It happened so many years ago.
I understand.
And him and my mother were divorced.
Okay.
So I couldn't even tell you if there was, he was estranged from the family. So he wouldn't have, he used to come and see us kids, his 4 children, me and my 3 siblings. He would come and see us.
Okay.
But he lived in California, and we lived in Florida, so it was very rare.
So, Lisa, what I have here is he gives me the number 6. He talks of the month of June. So even though you can't put the piece together, I have to leave that with you, okay, because this is what he gives me. And so I don't know if you had seen him in the month of June, and then he passed after that. I know you don't recall, But this is how he presents it to me. And you can't validate that, so all I can do is say that to you. I also have a female who's connected, who feels motherly. Has mom passed as well, please?
No, Mom's still here.
Okay, so that's...
Mom's 80 years old and she's still here.
So it must be Mom's
but my
mom.
grandma has
Yes,
passed,
okay.
of course.
Okay, so Grandma is here. Grandmother's energy, because I have someone on the mom's side of the family. Father steps forward first, but I have someone on the mom's side of the family. And so she's viewed more as a mom to me.
Yes, she was.
Okay.
My mother left us children with her for a period of time.
Okay, so this is how I see it. So she calls herself the mom of the family here. So this is how she presents herself. She's on the mother's side of the family side, design it for them to come through. But I just want you to know that she's very much with you.
Oh, thank you.
So she brings you, interestingly enough, so she's bringing you, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, it looks like a pie. Was there like an apple pie or something? She's like putting down what looks like a pie on the table. Did we used to have pie?
Oh, she was a wonderful cook.
Okay.
Many things she cooked. She was famous for being a wonderful cook.
Okay. So she's putting down something that looks like a pie, kind of makes me think of apple pie, and she's putting it down on the table, and it's almost like she brings everyone together.
She did.
Okay, with this pie
Wow,
and
I can't
food.
believe
Okay.
you're so right on.
And so, Lisa, please know that she sends you much love, and if I were you, I would make or buy my favorite pie and say, this one's for you, Grandma/Mom, because I really appreciate it, because I feel like she made you feel whole, and she didn't make you feel like Mom left you in a lurch and had to go do her own thing. She made you feel like you belonged to her from the beginning. And that was her greatest gift. So just know that she's with you, she loves you, and that your dad is at peace. And though you may not have the answer, the person who's responsible for this heinous act, this crime, was connected to him and did know him. It was not done by a stranger. This is what I leave you with. He rests in peace.
You.
And how did you hear about the show, Lisa?
My husband's granddaughter is down from Connecticut. She's been to see you. You know her well. Her name's Amanda.
Oh, yes.
And she spoke of me to you, and you had such wonderful, nice things to say about me to both my husband and my step-granddaughter. You had such wonderful, nice things to say about me. I just had to call and see if we could find some kind of connection.
Well, thank you so much, and know that you're very much loved by both of them, and you're their godsend, okay?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, Lisa. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from the sponsors, and then I want to hear from you right here on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. We're answering your questions all across the nation. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955, Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we're back here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. We're answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And we're going to go back to the phone lines. I've got Lori, and Lori is in New York. Lori, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, Sarah. How are you? I'm so glad I got through.
I'm glad you got through. And so the first thing I hear is I got a new attitude. I got to have a clean slate. I got to kind of have a do-over. I want to start again. Does that make sense to you, please?
Yes.
And we're going to wipe the slate clean. And then I hear this like, nobody knows the troubles I've seen. So it's been a rocky road for you the past 2 years. Is this true?
Yes.
And last year particularly was difficult, not just because of the pandemic, but you were going through your own metamorphosis, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Lori, what is your question for me?
A good friend of mine is in the hospital, and I want to know what you see for her. Okay. I'm really worried about her.
What is her birthday? Do you know, Lori?
It's May 7th, I think it is. She's. Her name is Janet.
And she's been in the hospital now for a few days, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Like 7 days or something? 10 days is what it feels like here, please. I'm not a doctor, can't diagnose, but let me see what I see here in her energy. Why do I feel like there's something they don't quite have under wraps handled yet right now, please? Yes?
Yes, that is true.
And it's like elusive. It's like elusive. It's like they're not quite sure what it is or how to handle it. It's almost like it's unusual. Does this make sense to you, please?
Diagnosed her with cancer again, and I want to know if she's going to, what you see with that.
Yes, but the way it's reacting to the body is unusual, and it's not something that they were expecting. Does this make sense to you, please?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm also seeing something going on in her breath and breathing. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Where's the cancer in her body, please?
It's by her woman parts, and
Okay.
they're saying now it's in part of her bone.
Okay. So she has it in the uterus.
Yeah.
Okay. But did she have it in her breast before that, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, again, I'm not a doctor, but I also feel like something's going on in her chest, in her lung.
Okay.
So this actually makes me feel as if there's something in left side of the left side breath and breathing. So something's going on with that lung. Don't know if it's a result of that or just a byproduct of being in the hospital and not being active. But so we're just going to, ask her how she's feeling in her breathing, having nothing to do with the pandemic stuff. Just ask
Right.
her. Okay, just ask her that question.
Okay.
So right now, there's a surgery that has to happen. And there's
Okay.
2 rounds of treatments that they're going to offer her.
Okay.
And she just needs to be strong enough to go through that. I'm not God, but your friend is not ready. Your friend Janet is not ready to throw in the towel.
No, definitely not.
Okay, so she is going to do everything she needs to, and she's going to fight. And 7 months from now, she's going to be a lot stronger. And ideally, we'll be putting this behind us as something that happened. Do you know if it's in the spine, near the bottom of the spine, please?
That I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I just found out it was in the bone by her woman parts.
Okay.
That's all she told me.
Okay. So this is, I just feel it close to the back end of the body here. So whatever bones are back there, that's where I feel it. Okay.
Okay.
So when
Yeah,
I
it's
look
very
at
new, so
yeah, they'll be able to put her on a treatment. 2 different treatments is how I see it. I don't know if it's chemo, radiation, surgery would be the protocol. Again, not a doctor. This is just kind of what my spirit guides are showing me.
Yeah.
And then they'll take it from there. She's going to be in the hospital for at least another 10 days.
Okay.
She gets her strength back, and then whatever they choose to do from there. Pray for your friend. Pray for her. Ask Archangel Raphael to surround her and protect her and heal her. And you have some new beginnings, some fresh things that you're working on, some new projects. Yes, you're kind of in the process of reinventing yourself a bit yourself, Lori, yes?
Yes.
Okay. This is going to go well for you, just step by step.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Hang in there. I'll pray for your friend. All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Lori. Thank you for listening to the show. Bye for now.
Bye.
888-565-1470. I've got to go back to the phone lines. And from New York, I've got to go to Pembroke Pines. Hi, Denise. How are you?
Sarah, how are you?
I'm great, Denise. What is your question for us tonight?
My question is, my son was wondering, his birthday is 5/31/82, and he was asking if it looks like his company will be in business next year.
Well, I can connect and see if your son has a job, but it's kind of difficult for me to know if a company that he works for, not knowing the company name, not knowing any energy around that, I can't give a definitive answer to that. But what I can tell you is this. Your son is in this energy of community, connections, networking. And so this is what he should be doing. He should be networking and connecting with other people. He should be promoting himself at work and making sure that he's seen and heard. And then I feel like next year is a big financial jump for your son. Next year is a year where he really moves up in his career. He moves up in his energy. Financially is a growth spurt. So whether the company folds or not has nothing to do with the success that I see for your son.
Okay.
Your son is meant to have a successful, financial, well-rewarding year next week. I mean, next year, please.
Next year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And my other question is my daughter.
Yes.
And still trying to conceive. And do you see anything going on there?
But I do see a baby.
Oh.
So she can still keep trying and let her try, because I see a baby. If I see a baby, there's a baby in the energy. Give the baby a
Okay.
chance to drop down and be a part of the physical experience. She's
Okay.
still trying.
I know you said it before.
Yeah. Well,
And
let me ask you this question. She tried
Yes.
before, and she was wasn't quite clicking, and then we saw a baby, and she has a baby, yes? A little one, yes?
that my daughter-in-law had the baby.
Okay.
That's my son.
Okay.
And my daughter was pregnant in
And then-
November of last year and
and-
lost the baby.
Right. And we said we saw the baby, yes? So we saw the baby.
Yes.
Unfortunately, she had a miscarriage. It wasn't a viable pregnancy that was going to result in a healthy child. And we always ask and pray for a healthy child, even though it's a horrific thing to go through a miscarriage. But I do see a healthy baby coming for her. So she needs to be patient and let the universe bring her the baby in the perfect time, in the perfect healthy way.
Okay. And do you see me with any illness?
No, why do you say that?
Because I don't know. I feel achy, but I guess this COVID thing is making me a little paranoid.
It's making everybody a lot of things right now.
I know. I
Okay.
know.
Okay. So here you
Okay.
go. I'm not a doctor, cannot diagnose. Take your vitamins.
I know.
Do positive affirmations, envision yourself healthy, get your exercise, drink your water, take food supplements that fortify the body, and envision yourself in this beautiful white light that is sealed and protected by God, and God knows your journey. Don't let
Okay.
media drive you into this crazy frenzy that has to be your story.
Right.
Okay? You do the steps that are advised to keep yourself healthy, and you envision and you pray, and the only power that really keeps you safe at the end of it is God. And when it is our time, it is our time.
Exactly. Okay.
So try not to.
Thank you.
Fear will create all sorts of things, as you're noticing.
Yeah.
Well, we all have to be smart about this, and we all have to do the right thing, and we have to be protected, and we have to pray, and this is what we do.
Okay.
All
And
right.
also, I just want to let you know that I noticed that one of my friends was also on watching you tonight. And anyway, I hope he continues to turn on to your station and listen.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you must have mentioned something, so I appreciate that very much, Denise. Thank you so much for
All right.
following the show. Bye for now.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors for our final break here. And then when we come back, 888-565-1470. Write that number down. We're answering your questions here all across the nation. Life's questions and some conversations from our loved ones. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Have we met before? I've been standing in the room.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Yes, indeed. Before I walk through the door, do you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We've got some great things coming up at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. Our friend Crystal Healing Bed Calvin Cates is going to be in the house, and he's going to be at our center in August. And the dates of those is, I believe, is August 20th and 21st. It's a Friday and Saturday. And Calvin is going to be doing Crystal Healing Bed, and this is the energy that helps align your chakras and work on healing energy. And he works with the energies of the Casa Dom Ignacio, healing energies of John of God. So that energy is around us, and that is helping in the assisting of the healing. Crystal Bed Healing, go to our website, expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. Visit our store, book appointments, call the center so that you too can have your session with Calvin Cates. Calvin's been coming for years. And also, when you get ready for that full moon that'll be here before we know it, pick up your full moon collection at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. We have a candle spray and oil. I got to tell you, it's delicious energy. And we've got a parchment petition to go with the candle so that you can write what you want to release and your energies of the full moon. So we've got so many products. We just got some new crystals in. While I wasn't there, apparently they were getting some crystals ready for me to see at the center. So I think we've got some new crystals in as of today. And we've got so many books, singing bowls, oils, herbs, you name it. We've got it at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. Learn more about me and my services, my personal readings at sarahspiritual.com. We're going to go back to the phone lines. I've got someone who's been on hold for a while. They're in Fort Lauderdale, and I've got Gary on the line. Gary, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, Gary. How can I assist you tonight?
Thanks for helping. I'm actually asking about my relationship. Okay. I've been going up and down with somebody.
Yes.
but it feels like something's blocking us from being fully committed to each other.
Yes.
Mainly from her end. She keeps pulling back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Gary, what is her birthday, please?
9/16.
So she's going through a shift and change for herself, trying to get more balance in her life. Was she pushing hard for work or school recently, please?
Yeah. She did have issues with work, and then recently she's kind of found something stable.
Yes.
But also with housing and changes in general, well-being. Yeah.
Yes. So I feel like she's got to get balance in her life. She's completely out of whack energetically. She's really not, she's not herself, and you're not getting to see her personal best, Gary. I also see here for you that this is a time for you to do some advancement in your career. Are you looking to promote in your career right now?
You could say that.
Yes, I see. Like or business advancement for your own business. I see growth for you, okay? So do know that this year, especially around your birthday time, things come together and I see a lot of growth. I also see here in the energy that the two of you have been a little disconnected, particularly since the month of June. Right at the beginning of the summer, things got a little bit more disconnected. Is that also true?
Exactly right.
Okay, communication is key. I don't feel like she feels like you hear her. You speak two different languages of love languages, so to speak. So I feel like she's not feeling heard. And I think she feels as if she needs space. She needs to breathe. Did she tell you she needs some space right now, please?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Give her space. This relationship is something that has done a dance for, what, about 2 years now?
Say that again. A dance?
You've been like, it's been off and on a little bit for 2 years, right? We've had some moments about the past 2 years.
Less than a year.
Less than a year. Okay. Who were you with about 2 years ago?
With somebody else at that point.
Okay.
With my ex.
Your ex. And were there plans for the two of you to move forward and get married or something?
Yeah, there was.
Okay. So there's some residual energy there. Be careful. You still have some work to do in healing. You felt a little disappointed in how that relationship played out?
I mean, things could have gone better, but I've made my peace with it at this point.
Okay. But be careful you're not transferring some of your insecurities and difficulties from that relationship into this relationship. Here we have a good girl who's just not ready yet, who's under a lot of pressure. I see her in the pressure cooker of life, Gary.
Wow.
So we have to give her a little space here. She does care for you, but she's not quite ready to say, I'm committing, this is the path, I'm all set, because she's not showing up all ready. She's not complete herself as a person. And she's told you this as well, yes?
That's right. So is there anything I can do to help this along or, something like that?
Well, you can always pray. You can always ask God and the angels. And, I'm a fan of, you're in Fort Lauderdale, I'm a fan of spiritually clearing your house, spiritually cleansing yourself, lighting a candle, doing a prayer. These things open up your energy so that things are seen and heard a little differently. So if you find your way up to West Palm Beach at my center, an Expedito Enlightenment Center, we are in West Palm. Yeah, anyone there would most certainly be able to help you kind of clear the energy so that the relationship can reach its pinnacle of truth and authenticity. And kind of take the pressure off, right? Because I feel like you're under a lot of pressure. If you do one wrong move, you think you're going to lose her. Yes.
Absolutely. Overanalyzing every single step that I'm taking.
I know, but that's you. That's why I said you got to get a grip. Get a grip, man. Get a grip. Because you're a great guy. She's a great girl. The timing's just off a little bit because you're a little more settled and she's just not there yet.
So just got to give it some time and just let it do its thing?
Let it do its thing and, pray and pop in the center. We'll definitely recommend a couple of things to help you so you don't get too lost in your head because it's crazy up there. Crazy. Like you should be solving world peace in that brain. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little chaos going on.
And don't let your imagination run away with you.
Okay.
Okay.
I be cool.
Chill. Just chill. I hope I've been of service to you. Gary, how did you hear about the show?
Honestly, just pure serendipity. It's the first time I'm hearing your show. I just got a new car. I randomly turned into the radio station that was already there.
Okay.
The first thing I heard, I decided to call in.
Well, thank you so much. It always lines up, all right? So remember, Sarah Spiritual, pop on Facebook, YouTube, follow us, stay in touch with us. It's all going to be fine. Gary, welcome to the family. Bye for now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. 888-565-1470. And I've got to go to, oh my goodness, I guess I got to go to Fort Pierce. I've got Amanda on the line. Amanda, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Amanda. We have just a few minutes. What is your question for me?
I need some closure on what I've talked about with you lately and seeing what about next week going to Connecticut. And it's just been an odd day. Universe and Spirit have guided me to call you. And I'm just loving my job down here. Well, they've literally made me a manager down here, Sarah. The girl that walked through your son and her whole life has transformed.
Right.
So I don't know what to do in with a situation that's been going on that we've discussed before.
Right.
In this house.
Well, that's a situation that really the people in the house, the people who own the house, you know, the two adults, they've got to they've got to handle that. That's out of your hands. But I'm going to ask you a question. This might sound a little basic, but do you have a job in Connecticut? No.
Well, I applied, if you remember, a few months ago, and I had that one, like a childhood
No,
center.
answer the question. Do you have a job where you're a manager in Connecticut? No.
No, it's in Florida.
Okay. I understand that. I understand that. So I'm just answer the question as I give it to you. Do you have a job in Connecticut? No. Do you want to be in Connecticut?
Half and half, honestly.
Okay, knowing your entire family is listening right now, okay? Nothing like putting you on the spot, right? But I want you to understand something. Right now you have an opportunity to work on yourself and build a connection with yourself, your grandfather, and time is precious. And you're building financial wellness, your confidence, and you're going to go to Connecticut to visit, or you're going to go back completely?
I wanted to just go back. I have doctor's appointments I've been putting off since March, and I have to go deal with school stuff, get my school book so I could do the next semester. And Paul's having a double hernia surgery next week also to add to the mix.
Right.
And I just wanted to go back, see Mom and see him, but I know that's not going to go well. He's been bugging out, when you coming back, when you coming back? And
and I'm sure he's listening, honey, so.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
That's why something told me to call you. And I also had an odd day at work, and I felt my grandmother. In the moment, a lady came in and handed me a $20 tip there. And as I'm talking about it, I literally have tears coming. And I felt my grandmother, and I keep seeing 11:11. It's just been a weird day today since I woke up.
But it's a good day.
I needed
it's a good day. It's a good day. The universe is supporting you.
Should I hit the casino tonight?
No, I don't think you should go to the casino. I think what you should do is get yourself ready and organized, go to Connecticut, get some things together. But you've got a place and something that's really helping you grow right now, right here in South Florida. So,
and I'm very worried about my grandfather.
I understand
He got cancer at small.
I understand. Amanda, we're out of time. Okay, honey? But it'll be okay. Have a safe trip to Connecticut, and I know we will talk again, but all is well.
I'll be down soon.
All right. Bye for now.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sarah.
You're welcome. Bye. Well, life brings changes, and sometimes, as you can hear from our caller Amanda, we're not quite ready and don't know how to handle the change. But when the universe gives you everything you want on a silver platter, take it. Be humble and remember that you, no matter what you do, are leaving a legacy. Your greatness, your kindness, your compassion, your love will live on forever. Make sure you set the best possible example for everyone, because you are what you leave behind, your blueprint, your legacy. Good night, everyone. Stay well. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
There's a light.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.